All right, so here we are. We're back again. What was the last one? Part 4, right? This should be part 5. So what were we talking about? I have to finish off at the part where I was saying, even though the Book of Revelations, it may claim that the world's going to end, that has a lot to do with what mankind is doing and what the elites, certain elite members are asking to be done. Maybe not all the elites, but certain ones. That's where that's coming from. So I said, I don't have to completely believe in the Bible other than the fact that certain things are possible. And because some of this stuff hasn't happened yet, human beings are thinking that that can happen because of what human beings are doing. That's because of what they're doing. Nothing is destroying the earth but people. So your book may want to tell you that, oh, God's going to destroy the earth. That's not him that's going to do anything like that. He's not going to do anything. That's human beings that will do that. He's not going to do anything. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that. And just remember, at the end of the day, have compassion. Have compassion. Now, you can't have compassion maybe with everybody. I can understand if you can't, but you could try to. You could try to have compassion with some people because it's impossible to do it for everybody. We know that. But you could try to do it for at least some people. That's what I was saying in the previous video. Try to do it for at least some people, if not everybody. There are people on the earth, they have to earn it. They have to earn it. So I wanted to wrap that topic up, or at least that part of that topic, before I went to work. But the subtopic was also, what are you about? So I gave examples of what you can be about. What is your craft? What are you good at? What is your hobby? What is your skill set? What is your niche? What is your field of expertise? What is your craft? What is your talent? What is your talent? What are you good at? What are you good at, dude? Think about that. What are you good at? If you do that, and we already told you about all this other stuff, you pretty much nailed a good chunk of this down. You did a lot of the work. You did most of the work. Everything else falls into place. Okay, so if you're wondering why somebody won't date you, what do you do? What attracts them to you? It cannot be your money. It should not be money by itself. It should not be your attire. Okay? It should not be your attire. It should not be appearances. Demeanor to me, like how somebody is, I find that attractive. I may find something like that attractive. It depends. It really depends. I guess it really depends because I'm not always checking on people because this is something I don't do. I don't always look around and see, who can I date? Who can I this? I'm not doing that. That's one thing I don't do typically. Maybe once in a blue moon you might check somebody out, but other than that, it's not a top priority. You can't help that you might like some people sometimes, and then other times if I don't like, I'm just not attracted. That's all. I'm just not attracted to that person, and that's that. So maybe you should fast on it. Go without eating for 2 days if you can, and just ask yourself, what are you about? Do you know what your worth is outside of those persons? What attracts you to these people? What attracts them to you? So if the only thing you have going for you is what's in your wallet, well, let's say you don't have any actual hobbies, you know, you just work but you don't do anything else. Maybe you just watch Netflix outside of that after work. Good luck finding somebody that's going to cherish you for what you are, because you got to have something else. You got to, you got to have a, I'm not going to say you always have to have a talent, but I believe everybody's talented at something. They should. They should be. There's something everybody is good at. You should have it. You got to have something that you're good at that you can do together. If somebody has the same talent as you, sometimes those should get together. Hopefully you have a common personality. That'll make it even better. Because if you have other traits that clash, that may not be a good idea. But that's something to think about. That's why I brought this up. And I did this in a comment section of somebody's video when they said, you know what, there's a lot of people in the opposite sex. We just don't seem to get along. Go to the Meetup app. Go to this website. It's called Meetup. It looks the logo looks pretty much like this. Or this is me trying to rehash what that looks like. Go to that app and you can find these social gatherings. If you need to be around people, if you're looking for somebody to like you, have some of these that you're invested in. Have a craft, have a hobby or something, and you can bond over that. You got to have something to bond over, because the something you do is that's actually more. There's actually more that you can get out of that. You can enjoy that. It's not the little thing you could do that has the ability to be ephemeral. Okay, there is a such thing as the ability to run out of cash, and it all depends on what you're doing and how you view your situation. That really depends on you. But when it comes to your craft, what does it mean to run out of a craft? Can you see yourself doing that craft for the rest of your life? Spirituality. This is the best way to go about your spiritual journey on this earth, is figuring out what you were made to do. Were you made to be an orator? Were you made to be a speaker for the world? Were you made to be an ambassador? Were you made to be an advocate? Pretty much all the same terms, right? Were you made to be a helper? There are things you could do on your own, and there are some things you could do in a group. Maybe you could do both. Some people do both. They'll spend a lot of time on their own, and then they'll go and hang out with a group. That's an extremely balanced individual, as far as I'm concerned. This is something to consider. It doesn't always have to be volunteer service, but there are things you could do in a group. But this is one of the best things, one of several best things you could do. All these are also websites. So I showed you that in my previous video. At least 2 to 3 videos ago, I've shown that. I think it was part 2. I pretty much got into this whole topic of what these were and how they can get you involved into something and enhance you spiritually. Like it makes you feel good, keeps you in good spirits. The root word of this, remember, is spirit. Good spirits. Keeps you happy. Now, I've had somebody oddly ask me a long time ago, like a few years, why would anybody ever do volunteer service if they ain't getting paid for it? Well, sir, that's a ridiculous question, because why would it be called volunteer service? You're volunteering. They need volunteers. They need somebody that has a good enough heart to do that. I don't see anything wrong with this stuff, and yes, I have done it before. So he asked me why I would do it if I'm not getting paid for it. That's a ridiculous question. I think it's a lousy question. It's a very lousy question. It's stuff I should have been doing in my teenage years, although I did it in at the age of 20 or something. I should have done it although I did do it in my teenage years. I should have done it a lot more in my teenage years. I spent a lot of time being depressed as a teenager, and that had a lot to do with family issues at that time. Family issues. So, something told me, well, if you were out doing this and doing that, taking your mind off it, being of service to maybe the planet itself, making sure it feels, not it feels. Well, technically, to an extent, it kind of does, because the grass is able to scream. The grass is part of the planet. So, or should I say the planet without the grass? No sensation, of course. Planet, or should I say grass becomes a part of the planet, is like it's giving the world the ability to scream. Because grass actually screams. Scientists have come out with some studies that Every time you step on the grass, it gives off a stimulus, and then the pitch is so high you can't hear it. Dogs run over it too, and dogs can pick up extremely high pitches. So that's a really high pitch. It's a very high pitch. It goes beyond what the dog is able to hear. It goes beyond what the dog's able to, and the grass has it has a nervous system like us, but it's able to scream. It's screaming. So we're actually hurting the planet as we walk on it. Or should I say hurting the grass? Maybe not the planet, but the grass. But yet we eat seaweed. Some of us eat seaweed. I mean, I used to eat seaweed. Or should I say I've eaten seaweed recently, just not enough maybe. But imagine how that seaweed felt when we pulled it out. So people say, "Oh, don't start talking about that because PETA, PETA, they already telling us not to eat animals. Now they're gonna tell us to leave the grass alone. So what will we eat? Well, there are mountains called edible clay. There's edible bark. There's edible bark. But then wait, wouldn't that hurt the trees? I think if you cut all the way through the tree would hurt. I don't think it hurts at the bark level. I don't think so. Yeah, you can eat the gum in the tree is chewing gum. I don't know if you could turn it into something else and eat that, but people are worried about what it is they can eat because of PETA and all that stuff. Well, you got tree bark that's edible. You got edible tree bark. Any fruit that falls off, once it falls off, that's that. I'm not saying you got to be a fruitarian, but if you think PETA's gonna come after you because of what you eat, and then again, sometimes what you eat can make you feel better, keep you in good spirits. I'll be honest with you, eating just fruits does make me feel better. I get a cool sensation that goes through my body. If I eat nothing else but fruits, although I do eat, fish sometimes, and then yes, I'll occasionally eat maybe some meats here and there, but a lot of times lately I've just been eating vegetables, and I did have a chicken sandwich at some point last week, but I don't eat that all the time. Lately I've been doing more vegetables than anything. So I'm like up and down with that. Friend of mine asked me, "Wait, so you won't eat meat ever again?" No, I may go back to maybe a chicken salad or a tuna salad or something like that, or maybe even salmon or something like that. The healthier things. Red meats, maybe not so much. Not so much. Maybe I won't eat that too much. But every now and then, maybe seafood or something like that. But then again, if you look at me, I'm a very tiny person. I look like I pretty much ate nothing today. The only thing I ate today was like what? Um, Dried bananas with spinach in the center as a sandwich. But the chips and like spinach lettuce pieces, you know, basically the little ones, you just eat those together and it takes some of the strong flavor out of the spinach. That's why I do that. That's all I ate today. And somehow from that little bit, I feel a little bit full. Maybe my stomach shrunk and I don't know it. It probably got smaller. I don't even know it. I don't know, dude. But yeah, sometimes the food you eat make you feel better. Yeah, that'll make you feel better. The groups you hang around will make you feel better. You know, some people look at you and say, "Oh no, I gotta have my Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich or whatever it is they eat. I gotta have my 6 burgers or something like that." That's what they tell you. You got some people walking out of there with what about six burgers in 2 bags and maybe some more French fries. One person is eating all that. One person, and I think it was a YouTube video. For some reason, that one day, some time ago, I decided to look up funny fast food videos, and that was one of them. The people were complaining about not getting their order, so he said he had to get all his burgers. I think he was missing one burger. Like, sir, I know you ordered 6 burgers. Just ask them for a refund and be happy with the 5 that you have. Somehow he was missing one. I'm thinking that'll happen when you order too much food. That'll happen. You're missing an item because you're ordering too much stuff, and you can't. And it's human error. Is you're not talking to robots. You're not talking to robots. And what happens if you actually did run out? The robot will have to tell you they can't fulfill that order. So by default, they would give you a refund. Would you then go in there and curse out the robot? Imagine in the future, the world changes spiritually in the future, people are doing what? Cursing robots out. But let me tell you how the AI system may or may not completely help. So they have this new thing at Walmart. They do face scan. When you do self checkout, ShopRite doesn't have that. They still don't have that. I think other like certain supermarkets, they don't have that. Walmart has it, but the other places don't. From what I've seen, they probably do. Walmart's really trying to stop people from stealing. They really are. But I'm thinking that's probably not going to do anything, because even if you do have a facial scan, you know how many people might look like that person? That person may have a clone, well, not a clone, but a doppelganger, maybe a twin, think about it. Just to look alike. They claim that we all have 6 other people that look like us. I hate to break it to you. I doubted that anybody else looks like me. Okay, my head is shaped a certain way, and I'm able to shave my head bald, and the bald head actually fits my skull structure. I don't know if the other people that have the face like mine, if their head can actually tolerate. Not tolerate, but would they themselves, based off how their head look, would they tolerate having a shaved head? Would they? Would they tolerate it? I don't know. So I doubt that someone else looks like me, but exactly like me. They may have close features, but be honest with you, the bone structures in my face, they're not exactly the most even either. So it will be hard for you to look like me exactly. One ear is like higher than the other, and that's because of the skull shape. That's not the muscles. People say, "Oh, that's the no." That's the skull structure. That's the skull. The muscles just form around that structure and match it. That's actually the structure. That's actually structure. One eye is a little bit lower than the others. So, yeah, I'm a bit uneven. Yeah, good luck trying to look like me, because you're not going to get another one of these. Sorry. You're not going to get another me. The only way I would is if I had a twin, and even my twin would look somewhat differently than me, because will we have the exact same unevenness? No. Probably not. Maybe the other side is down, slowed down. And then if I look at my jaw, that's why I talk funny. That's pretty much why I talk funny, is because of how that, structures your jaw. That's exactly why you talk funny. Good luck looking like me, dude. Good luck looking like me. You're not. And I'm probably the only one that sounds exactly like this. That sounds exactly the way I do. I do know one thing. I think I'm the only person that has laid this out the way I did and talked about spirituality in this manner. So I gave you a whole new approach on what this is, unless somebody else is talking about it in this fashion. But I'm the only one that has laid it out like this so far as I know. I haven't checked to see if anybody else has done that. When they talk about spirituality, I think they just show themselves in the camera and they just get to talking. Will they show you various ways of going about your spirituality? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But typically, from what I've seen, it's always somebody, trying to organize a new group and saying you have to go by this way. Some new dogma. So I've seen somebody come up with a new dogma. I'm not going to name any names here because I don't want that person to feel bad about himself. I consider it a dogmatic stance because I'm thinking, you know what? I can see where you make some points about certain things here, like maybe the diet. What is acceptable for humans' diets rather than all this overly processed foods that they eat, like every single day? Like they almost never drink water. They drink soda all the time, and maybe they eat candy all the time, and all that bad stuff. They're not like you and I, where we can sacrifice meat sometimes. I don't have a heart. Listen, I was born skinny, and I'm gonna die skinny, no doubt. I've never eaten enough of the worst foods, because you have to eat a lot of the bad stuff anyway for you to get big. And I just don't eat enough, period, to get big. I just don't. I don't eat enough, period, to get big. I barely ate anything yesterday. I barely ate anything today, and my stomach's not growling. Probably because it got accustomed to that. And the stuff was a lot more on the healthier side between yesterday, today, and I think the day before and the day before that. So I would prefer to continue that process. Like I remember a long time ago, I went an entire week, no meat, just vegetables. It was the easiest thing I ever did. It's just that when you're going to and from work constantly, and you don't take time to like gather, okay, what was I supposed to get today? You just pick up the most convenient thing, knowing that you probably don't have to have that thing. You didn't get it because you had it because you were starving. It was convenience. So a lot of people know how to do better. Convenience gets in the way sometimes. Other people, they're just saying, "Oh no, we'll be eating pizza till the day we die." That's other people. That's other people saying that they need their burgers. And so you got all these other people out here they're saying that, they can't go years without candy. That's other, I don't know. I don't know if they eat candy all the time or all day or every day. I don't know if they do or not. Growing up, the only time I may have eaten a lot of sweets was during Easter or Christmas time. Any other time, if there was no candy in the house, we barely ate it. Maybe every 2 weeks, I might have gotten a snack or something like that. I had snack time, little sister and I, we would sit back and watch films together or even play video games together and had snacks or something. But it wasn't a thing that we did every single day. Like there was always like one particular time, oh, we're going to do this particular week. We're going to do that. It just, that's just how we were. I don't think she even snacked all. Well, she kind of did, but then I don't think she eats unhealthily because it's just something she wants to do or anything like that. I know she likes to eat that much. It's for sure, but she's at a point where she says she knows she can do better. So, but she's not fat at all, and I don't think she ever would be that. I don't think so. I know she can do better. I know that's from our last discussion. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind pizza and all that stuff. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I just get the pizza with the spinach on it. the spinach. The pizza with the spinach on it. I think it's like some kind of healthy bread. It was like white bread, like really white, and I don't know. I don't know if it was completely healthy or not, but the cheese was like white cheese. So it was like basically white pizza with spinach on it. And I think it was just the cheese and whatever. I think it was just all cheese, and I don't think there was any tomatoes paste under it at all. But yeah, that was what that was, or I guess shrimp pizza or something like that. If I ever eat it, that's usually what I pick, or just complete vegetable pizza, like broccoli, mushrooms, spinach, whatever, and stuff like that. Maybe once in a blue moon, or sometimes fast food, like the fish sandwich, and maybe sometimes the French fries. But one thing's for certain is when it comes to food, I shift all the time. I shift all the time. It's impossible for me to eat the same thing every day. I shift all the time. Even with this YouTube channel, the fact that I have multiple topics, we shift all the time. That's basically my life, a shifter. I guess I'll just nickname myself the shifter. Maybe I should call this channel the shifter. Tina the shifter. Just kidding. Not shapeshifter. Just action shifter. Maybe that would be a crazy channel. They'd be like, what does that even mean? People looking at the channel like, so what does the name mean? Where'd you get the name from? Well, the fact that this channel has a whole bunch of stuff on it, but actually the teen experience is pretty much just me shifting. But if anything, there's a diet you can stick to. But I'll be honest with you, you can get tired of eating certain things, and I get tired fast sometimes. I'm like, tomorrow we're definitely eating something different. I remember grandma said, oh, there could be a day when sometimes you eating the same thing all the time, beans and Franks. The funny thing is I don't even eat that all the time. And if I wanted to go on a budget, there's different types of things you could get on a budget. Why do you think you would just be eating beef Franks all the time? 9 out of 10, that particular individual that does do that, okay, 9 out of 10, you went to a corner store where they hardly have chicken noodle soup, and the only other thing they have is beef Franks, right? In a can of what is that stuff? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, beans and pork and beans or something. Well, in the supermarket, there's a wider variety. If you want to just get straight vegetables, you could do that. If you want to eat straight corn, you could do that. If you wanted to eat pears in a can, you could do that. Or if you want to eat just baked beans by itself, you could do that. If you want to just eat beans alone, and then eat the canned fruit or whatever that was, and then skip everything else, fine. You could do that. That's survivalism. Canned goods, fruit, certain vegetables, carrots in there, um, chicken noodle soup cans. What other soup cans? Maybe tomato soup cans. Let's say you don't feel like eating that all that day, but you want to have something on your stomach so your stomach won't bother you throughout the day. Tomato soup. Eat a lighter meal. You won't feel weird doing heavy lifting jobs. I'll be honest with you. It does feel a lot better. Soup, macaroni and cheese if you like that stuff, just saying. What else do you like? Yeah, some of that stuff is in a can. If you gotta have your meats, you got chicken Alfredo cans. There's different kind of cans out there. I don't know why the people, when they talk to their kids, they make it sound like that's the only thing that's out there was pork and beans. Dude, look at the circulars. Dude, look at this. It's all kind of stuff out there. I don't know why they preach that. I don't know why they preach that. Oh, there could be a day when you just